Katie.
I'm Emily.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Thanks
too.
for coming in today. So, just a little bit about how today's going to work. We're going to go through, I'm just going to get to know you, figure out, your initial reason for coming in today. We'll do some data gathering, and then hopefully in the coming weeks we'll meet again, and I'll have a holistic picture of your financial picture right now, all your debts, your cash flows, all of that. And from that we'll talk about some of your goals and then come up with a plan that's hopefully suitable for you.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living?
Well, okay, so I just recently graduated from law school a couple months ago. I went to Tech for undergrad, and then I came to Texas Tech again for law school. So right now, me and a couple of other law students that I graduated with, we started our own firm in Fort Worth.
Okay, so that's awesome. What part of Fort Worth?
Just South Fort Worth.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we are hanging our shingle is what they call it, and so we had an investor help us get, the startup costs going. So right now, I'm an attorney. I do mostly estate planning, but our firm as a whole kind of does like everything. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, are you married, engaged?
So I do have a boyfriend. We are pretty serious. We met in law school.
Okay.
And we've gone to look at rings, so I assume, we're going to be getting engaged pretty soon. But as of right now, it's just a really serious boyfriend. We do, basically live together. So
okay.
There's that.
How exciting.
Yeah.
So, tell me about law school. What made you decide to go to law school and be a lawyer?
So, I always knew I wanted to go to law school since, I want to say, I can pinpoint it to this one time in high school. I was at this, it was like some standardized testing, I want to say, and there was 3 prompts, and one of the prompts was about, I'm pretty sure it was about women's rights. I can't remember what the second one was, but there was this third one, and it was about a judge, and it was about his life, and it was all about him. And I just ate that up, and I loved it so much. And when we were standing out in the hall after, kind of chatting about, we were on a little break or whatever. I mean, I was a junior in high school. We were on our break, and everyone was talking about how much they hated that prompt about the judge. And I was sitting there, I was like, I love that. And I think that was kind of the moment when I knew, I was like, I kind of really am intrigued by the law, intellectually attracted by it.
Right.
Or to it. So that's pretty much, so I've known I wanted to go to law school since I was a junior in high school. And then I came to Tech because I knew that they had such a good pre-law academy is what they call it. And so I've been kind of been being groomed for a while.
Right.
But I'm the first attorney in my family. My dad's a pastor, my mom's a teacher. So
how exciting.
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure they're very proud.
Yeah. They tell me all the time. So yeah, I'm the first one in my family, but I've always just been intellectually attracted to the law.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So tell me about, what brings you in today, your primary reason for seeking out financial help.
So there's a few things. So I probably should start off by just saying that I've never really done my own finances. I know that sounds bad because I'm 25,
not at all.
But yeah. So my mom has always, filled out my FAFSA and done my tax returns. Has helped me with those things, and so she's kind of had a majority of the control over that stuff. But now that I'm 25, she's kind of kicking me off of everything. She has to. I can't really be on their insurance anymore.
Right.
So I'm kind of being dumped from all their stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I also have, my main concern is I'm kind of in a lot of debt right now, just from graduating from law school and, a 4-year university on top of that. So I'm kind of struggling with my debt, and I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm still in that deferment period, but it's about to come to an end just because I just graduated.
Right.
And so it's like this monster just looming, in the distance, and it's coming for me. That. So I'm kind of nervous about that. So, but also my aunt recently passed away.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. She was one of my best friends. So I found out just last week that she actually included me in her will, and she gave me some stocks, some interest in some stocks, and then also her beach house that she had, because we used to always go to the beach house, and she knows how much I love it. So she did give that to me. So there's just a lot of financial changes in my life right now that I have no idea how to deal with.
Okay.
That's why I'm coming in.
Well, I'm more than happy to help you work through some of that, and I understand how you feel about the debt. Being a looming monster, I had to put myself through school as well, so I've, dealt with that.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry about your aunt, but it sounds like the beach house is a great asset that she passed down to you. Where is the beach house located?
It's in Galveston,
Okay.
Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. So not too far?
No, not at all. And I really want to keep it just because of all the memories there. And
Right.
just, all through college, every spring break, I always went there for spring break and hung out with her. And yeah, like, she's not going to be there anymore, but it's still kind of like, I grew up going there for all of my vacations because, when you have an aunt with a house that's for free, you don't have to pay anything.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we would go there all the time. So I don't want to get rid of it, but, me and my boyfriend have been kind of talking about it, and he thinks that I should, sell it or, rent it or something to get money,
right.
get some income from it. But I don't want to sell it.
Okay.
So I know that.
I'll make a note of that.
Yeah. I know that he's just my boyfriend, but he does kind of, have a little bit of a sway.
Right.
So, and I just, like I said, I have no idea anything about finances. So
okay.
I just kind of am taking it all in, I guess.
Right. I understand that. So what I understand from so far, so you've been to law school, you've opened your own practice in South Fort Worth, you've got some student loan debt that's you're about to have to start paying on that, and then you had an aunt pass away recently who left you some stock and a beach house in Galveston, and you do not want to sell it. Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yes, we are.
Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit about your student loan debt, like how much, and when you're going to have to start making those payments.
So right about now, I want to say I graduated with $80,000 in debt, and that's a combination of undergraduate debt and just graduate school debt.
Okay.
Some of it, I want to say some of it's subsidized and some of it's unsubsidized, but I can't really remember which ones are that way. I guess I could bring in.
Do you have those documents at home?
Yeah, I have them.
Okay.
I can go on the website and look it up and kind of do a little print off for you.
Yeah, for sure. And if you wanted to email it to me, I'm sure there's an option on there where you could just download the PDF and email it to me. That would be just as beneficial, so you don't have to stop back by. I know you're busy.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so I did have, I don't know if this is relevant, but I did have this one loan in undergrad that was Texans Be On Time, and it was this program where you got it forgiven.
Okay.
And so I would have $30,000 more, but that got all forgiven. So
hey,
could be
nice.
Worse, right?
Yeah. Hey, there's always a bright spot.
Yeah, but $80,000 is a lot, and I haven't, I know that I just recently graduated, but I haven't thought about the payments, the amount or the length or what I qualify for. I know I just kind of Googled it a little bit, and I know that you can do it income based, or you can do it based on the actual payment. You can set the payment amount, but I have no idea how what I should do. I'm kind of scared to do that.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand that. Off the top of my head, I'm not super familiar with how your loans are set up.
Okay.
But once you can email me all the stuff that you can find on them, I can look into that for you, and we can figure out something best suited for you. As far as income, about how much do you make on a yearly basis?
So it's gonna be changing, but right now, because I'm just starting up, I'm probably only gonna be making about $60,000. Okay. I have to build up my clientele, and I have some people, some loyal friends and stuff who said that they would come to me, but
right.
Not you only come to a lawyer whenever you have a suit. So as many friends as I have that say they want to come get legal services from me, if they're not getting sued or they're not suing somebody, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, starting out probably about 60,000, but it'll increase.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am kind of concerned that that's low, considering all the crippling debt that I have.
And I wouldn't view it as crippling debt. You've got the stocks and the beach house. You have an income. Where are you currently living right now?
Right now, we have an apartment in Dallas, so we're kind of commuting. But, that's another thing in and of itself is we're paying rent, and I kind of want to own my own house.
Right.
But I know that that's not something that I can really, I can think about it, I guess. I really want it, but I feel like my debt needs to come first, instead of purchasing a house. But that's kind of what I wanted your opinion on. Is I have all this debt. I feel like this baggage that's attached to me, but I also want to move forward with my life. I want to get a house. We have our cars. I want to pay those off and all that stuff. But yeah, we are looking into housing closer to Fort Worth.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that's not current, I guess. Like I said, I feel like we can't look to the future until we fix, the student loan debt.
Right. Do you think you would feel better about your student loan debt once we had a plan in place? From what I'm gathering so far is you don't really have a plan, you really don't know what that debt's going to look like or paying that debt, do you think you would feel more comfortable once we had that plan in place?
Yes.
Okay.
If I knew like how much I had to pay, how long I had to pay it, how much interest it was going to be, you know, just the little parts to it, then I feel like I could actually like sleep at night better.
Right.
You know,
okay.
and be able to think about things in the future, especially if we like made it to where I did have a little bit of extra money so that I could do fun things. Like I know that they say you get out of school and you got to live like a student for a few more years, but I would eventually,
I don't think you have to do that.
I would eventually like to be able to, you know, live like an attorney, I guess, you know.
Right.
In
we're working
responsible
on that.
ways, yeah.
Right. So tell me a little bit about what you would like to do for fun, what that picture looks like.
What do you mean? Like,
you talked about, you know, not living like a student and living like an attorney. So what does that look like to you?
So I love traveling. Like I mean, it's crazy because I love traveling, but I've never left the country other than like, you know, the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Right.
So, but I've always wanted to, and I've always been telling myself that, you know, I'm racking up all this debt and I'm living like a student and I'm earning my degree. I've been a student my whole life.
Right.
And it's like finally, you know, that first time I got, you know, like a month or two ago when I first got that first paycheck from my salary, it was like awesome. But like, I want to travel, but I'm concerned that I can't travel because I have all this debt. And I feel like if I'm going to spend money on like a cruise or something that I would feel guilty about doing that whenever I have like looming debt, you know?
Right.
So traveling, I mean, I do have like, apparently now, I mean, I have this beach house, so I could just probably be content with just going there for traveling. But other than that, I just like, I'm easy to please. Like, but I would like to, you know, go to like nice dinners and go see some comedy shows in Fort Worth, or maybe my traveling doesn't have to be out of the country. Maybe I can just go to like New York or something, go see a Broadway play. But
that'd be awesome.
Traveling is my thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And like fishing. Ooh, skiing. I love skiing too.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've
got an idea of what, you want to do. We just got to get this debt taken care of first.
I have all these ideas of all this fun stuff that I want to do, but and I guess it kind of like it might come from just how I was raised. Like my mom she gets stressed about finances. I recently learned like from my dad. He kind of sat me down one day because I didn't understand. Well, her dad kind of came into her life. Her parents were divorced. He came back and got them super far, and this is probably irrelevant, but I promise I have a point.
No,
he got them into like really bad debt, and then he left. They got divorced again. He came back, got them into more debt. So basically my mom has just this really bad like idea, like this mental trigger whenever she's discussing finances, so she wouldn't discuss them with me. So I feel like I'm, you know, like a newborn giraffe in the world of finances, because like anytime I would try to talk to my mom about things, like I would want to help her with like my FAFSA and stuff like that. Like she wouldn't want to talk to me about it because it just, for her, it was like an emotional scar, I guess. So like I feel like some of that just kind of got pushed onto me, where now I have anxiety. So I feel guilty whenever I spend money. Like if I, you know, go to the grocery store and I dig through the $5 movie bin and I get like 5 movies and I spend all that money, I feel guilty after. Like I enjoy watching the movies, but I'm just like, wow, I shouldn't have spent this money on it, you know, like so I have all these negative thoughts towards money. So I was hoping that coming and getting a financial planner to help me with everything, that maybe it would
definitely
lift some of that.
And I mean, here at our firm, we've got a lot of educational tools as well. You know, you talked about feeling like a newborn giraffe. Love that analogy. So, you know, we've got some great educational tools that we can provide you, you know, so you feel more confident handling your own finances, cool. You know, as you become an adult. So I think what I want to do is, we don't want to keep the beach house, but you did mention renting it. Is that something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I could rent it. I know I've stayed at places before where people like own the house, but then like on the weekends where they're not there, they'll rent it out to people, like for, you know, like I guess it's called Airbnb or something like that. You know, people do that.
Airbnb or like VRBO, I think.
That I've heard of that one. So I would be interested in doing that. Yeah, that'd be fine, because like I'm busy like all the, I mean, I'm an attorney and I'm in the, you know, very beginning of my career, so I'm doing scut most of the time, especially with our startup. But yeah, so honestly, I'd probably only be at the beach house maybe like a couple of weekends out of the year. So if it's just gonna sit there and depreciate, I might as well have someone,
Right.
going. So I would be interested in renting. That
Okay.
sounds like a good idea.
Because what I'm thinking, so you have you could have some rent income from the beach house. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be, some astronomical amount that's going to alleviate all your debt in, 6 months, but extra income is extra income. And then you have your income from your job, and then you talked about your rent expenses, and then what other kind of expenses are we looking at?
So I do have my own car that I'm making payments on.
Okay.
It's about $250 a month because I bought it used because
Okay.
I'm still trying to live like a student.
Not a bad way to live.
And then I have rent. It's about $1,500 a month.
Okay.
Right now. Other than that, I mean, like I said, my mom's dumping me, so I'm about to have to look into health insurance, car insurance, and my phone bill. I guess are the three that I'm gonna start having to pay for.
Okay. Well, your firm, I know y'all are just starting up. I didn't know if your firm would have any insurance options.
I'll have to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely recommend looking into that.
Yeah, there's only so many of us,
Right.
so I don't know if that's an option. But I'll have to look into it. Like, honestly, I'm a named partner, but I kind of just, when it comes to stuff like that, like, I just kind of let my other partners handle it,
Right.
Like, because they know more about it than me.
Right.
So
Understand.
I'll look into that, though.
Okay. So, if you want to give me when you email me the stuff about your student loans, if you want to send me also like your latest, like a couple of bank statements. I don't know. Do you have a current budget that you're using?
Honestly, my current budget is just like, if I can save it, I'm doing it. Like,
Right.
I'm living like a student. But I never really sat down and allocated money to certain things,
Okay.
other than obviously like rent and car payments and stuff.
So if you want to go home and think about, like some of your monthly expenses and looking at your bank statements, and email all of that to me. If you want to come back in, we can sit down and make a budget together. I can make a couple and send them to you.
Okay.
And you can look over them and see if that's what you like. Of course, I'll include your student loan payment in that. I won't include any income from your beach house just because we don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Okay.
And if I don't know how long it would take you to get that set up. That's not really in my wheelhouse. But I have a friend that like has her set up on Airbnb, so I'd be more than willing to like get y'all in contact and she could help you out if
Awesome.
like if you needed that.
Yeah.
Um,
I also have like my aunt gave me these stocks. Like, it's $50,000 worth of stocks.
okay.
I don't know I honestly don't know how stocks work. Like, oh, surprise. I don't know how those work.
So do you have any other sort of investments like a mutual fund or anything in retirement?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Okay. So
yeah, I don't know how the stock market works. I don't know. Like, people will tell me like, oh, you should sell them, but then other people are like, oh no, you should keep them and have some kind of like stream of income. Someone said the word volatility. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
but,
Okay.
yeah.
Understand that.
Yeah.
So for right now, I'd hang on to the stocks. Don't do anything with them just yet. My only thing to caution you on with stocks, and we can talk about this once we have a better idea of your current financial picture, is owning one company. If something happens to that one company, you'll lose all your money.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I haven't even looked into what it is. Like,
Okay.
I don't know what
So if you want to pull, the document that you got when she gave you these stocks, if you want to pull that and send that to me as well, I can look into it. It might be worth it to like sell some of these off or hang on to them until we have you have the income to come up with an investment portfolio like for retirement or whatever else, and this can be a portion of that portfolio.
Okay.
I'm not sure if selling. I don't know if selling them is something you'd want to do since they came from your aunt. It might be something worth thinking about.
Well, in the will, whenever she gave them to me, she kind of had a little bit of language in there about, this was to help me financially. So
Okay.
I don't,
Okay.
like, I don't know if that means like hold on to them and keep it as an income, or if that means like, hey, Emily, here, sell all of these and pay off your student loans.
Right.
She helped me with school before. Like, one summer she paid for all my summer classes. It was like $3,000 worth of summer classes. But so
That's
I know
great.
that she's always been like interested in my education, and so
Okay.
I'm wondering if that was her intent. But I mean,
Okay.
you can only put so much in a will, like exactly what you want, like
Right.
someone to do with stuff. But even then, like, I mean, I don't think I really have to do what she wanted. But I know that she did. She really enjoyed, pushing me in my education. So
Okay. That's awesome.
basically no I don't have like an idea of, or like, oh, I have to do this with these stocks or anything like that. I'm just kind of like, just got
Here
this
they
gift.
are.
Yes,
Let's
like,
do something with them.
Yeah, like
Okay.
thank you, but like I don't know what to do with this.
Okay,
you know? Yeah.
I understand. So, moving forward, what I want to do is have you send me those documents about your student loans, your monthly expenses, your bank statements. If you have a budget, send it my way. If you don't have a budget, that's fine. I can help you come up with one.
Okay.
And then if you'll also send me the information about your stocks and maybe the car payment stuff, so we have an idea of when you'll have that paid off. And once I get all that, I'll be able to get you a number picture essentially of what your financial situation looks like right now. And then we can move forward from there. And moving forward from there, we can discuss what to do with the stocks, the beach house, setting that up as income. And then most importantly, we'll have a payment schedule for your student loans to hopefully get those paid off as soon as we can.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
And like another concern that I kind of had was, like, I mean, I'm in this relationship and it's probably going to become an engagement. Like, would I, because like he's gonna eventually, like if we get married, like we're gonna both have student loan debt. So like I just want to, like, I know that like technically, I mean, we're kind of separate except for we live in the same house. You know, we make our own different payments for different stuff. But like I feel like once we get married, like his debt's mine. You know? So I'm kind of concerned.
Yeah,
about
what's
that.
mine is yours.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. So you know, I'm kind of concerned about that. But I know that that's not like, you know, it's on the back burner for now. But I'm thinking that, you know, we'll probably only be engaged for a short amount of time and then we'll be married. So
I think what we want to do right now is go ahead and work on your debt and get a payment schedule set up for that. And then moving forward, if your relationship continues to progress, if you wanted to bring him in with you to a meeting, that would be great. And we could look at his debt as well and figure out a payment schedule for that as well.
So we can like change these payment schedules?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. I think I remember someone telling me that like if something changes like marriage, then they'll help you change it and everything.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And you can just bring him in.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, do you have any other questions?
Not now. I'm probably going to walk out and think of like 20 questions I was supposed to ask you.
Okay.
And I didn't,
well, on our way out the door, I'll be sure and give you my card and you can shoot me an email or call me. So.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, it was so nice to meet you, Emily.
So
Thanks
much,
for coming
Katie.
in.
Have a good one.
You too.